Baboon versus cheetah. Who would win? You see big cats fighting one another. You see monkeys battling with each other. But what about a cat versus a monkey? More specifically, a cheetah and a baboon. It might sound a bit out there, but out there in the wild, animals get territorial. They get defensive, they get hungry, and they get angry. Africa is a continent with plenty of wild animals, each more vicious than the last. And it is also home to both the cheetah and the baboon, so these fights very well could be happening often. They could be happening right now. So let's hide in the bushes, whip out our binoculars, and see if we can figure out who would win in a battle, a baboon or a cheetah. Baboons. You may have lined up ringside to see the battle, but maybe you don't have a dog in this fight. Well, we do have a monkey in this fight, so let's meet him first. The baboon. Baboons are among the world's largest monkeys, and they're all found in Africa. There are actually 6 different subspecies of baboon, all living in distinct areas of Africa. In the northwest portion of Africa is the Guinea baboon. He can be found in countries like Mauritania, Senegal, Sierra Leone, and yes, you guessed it, Guinea. The Guinea baboon is one of the smallest baboon species, weighing between 28 and 57 pounds. In the north-central part of Africa is the olive baboon. The range in which olive baboons can be found in is the largest among all baboons, found in countries like Sierra Leone, Mali, Nigeria, Chad, the Congo, and Sudan, to name a few. Male olive baboons can weigh as little as 22 pounds and as much as 82 pounds. In the northeast of Africa, surrounding the Red Sea, there is the Hamadryas baboon. In addition to being found in the southwestern portion of the Arabian Peninsula, the Hamadryas baboon is located in African countries like Somalia, Eritrea, Ethiopia, and Djibouti. Males are typically 44 to 66 pounds. Moving a little farther south, still in East Africa, we can find the yellow baboon. Find them in countries like Kenya, Tanzania, Zimbabwe, and Botswana. The males are typically about 44 pounds. In Central and Western Central Africa is the Kinder baboon. You can spot them in the Congo, Zambia, and Angola. Kinder baboons are the smallest of all the baboon species, on average weighing right around 30 pounds. Lastly, we move to the south for the heavy hitters, the Chacma baboons. You can find the Chacma baboons in countries such as Mozambique, Botswana, Namibia, and South Africa. These are the largest of all baboons, weighing 88 pounds on average, but with some larger specimens clocking in at 99 pounds. Chacma baboons are typically about 47 inches in total length, and though many say that mandrills are the world's largest monkeys, if you go off of total length, the Chacma baboon may take that crown. All baboons are territorial animals, but obviously spend a lot of time in the trees as well, especially when it comes to sleeping. This keeps them safe from predators. Then again, they're vicious monkeys themselves, and definitely put up a fight if need be. All across Africa, you can find them on open savannas and woodlands, generally staying near a variety of trees. They're omnivorous, so they eat a lot of leaves, bark, fruits, nuts, and seeds, but will also feed on small mammals, birds, and insects. When you look at the face of a baboon, you'll notice they have a long muzzle, much like a dog. Also, somewhat similarly to a dog, they have large, sharp teeth and powerful jaws. The bite force of all baboons isn't known for certain. However, experts do know that their jaws allow them to easily crush through hard nuts. And in one test, an olive baboon was measured to have a bite force of 1300 psi. If that information were accurate, they would not only have one of the strongest bite forces in the animal kingdom, but one of the very top bite forces among non-carnivores. Baboons are definitely strong with their muscular bodies. Some large male baboons have been seen lifting objects that were 50 pounds with extreme ease. At the very least, that would be half the baboon's total weight, and it's most likely more than that. They also have impressive agility and quickness, able to accelerate from 0 to 30 miles per hour in just a couple of seconds. Now, that might not be enough to get a speeding ticket, but it's still impressive. Now let's take a look and see if we can find anyone else who is a constant perpetrator of the speeding laws. Cheetahs. Yes, the other contestant in our fight is known to violate the speeding laws on the regular. Whether they have ever been caught and issued a ticket, that's unknown, but improbable. No land animal can catch a cheetah. They are the fastest land animal on Earth. They can go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in less than 3 seconds. Can any cars do that? They can reach 70 miles per hour with relative ease, and it is estimated that some even hit top speeds of 80 miles per hour. The speed of a cheetah, everyone knows that. That's what we think of when we think of a cheetah. But what not all are privy to is that there are 5 subspecies of cheetah in the world. There's the East African cheetah, found in countries like Tanzania, Uganda, Somalia, and Kenya. They're about 3.5 to 5.5 feet long, sometimes longer than 6 feet, and weigh between 150 and 165 pounds. This is the largest of all the subspecies of cheetahs. There's the Central African cheetah, sometimes called the Sudan cheetah, due to the fact that it lives in Sudan and other countries in the area. These cheetahs are smaller than the Central African cheetah, but not by much, generally weighing around 140 pounds. There's the South African cheetah, which has already gone extinct in some countries like the Congo and Lesotho, but is still present in other countries like Botswana and Namibia. These cheetahs can also reach up to 6 feet long and typically weigh a maximum of around 140 pounds. The Northwest African cheetah has gone extinct in about 20 countries already, but is still present in a few nations, including Niger and Algeria. These cheetahs are typically smaller than their other African cousins by a bit, and they also differ by having a shorter coat and being nearly white in color. Lastly, there is the Asiatic cheetah, once widespread across the Arabian Peninsula, is now only found in Iran. This is the rarest cheetah of them all, and they usually weigh about 120 pounds. The cheetah is one of 7 big cats in the world today, but its body is designed so differently from the rest. All big cats are fast, but the cheetah is on another level. The cheetah's body is designed like a high-performing sports car with extreme acceleration in mind and the ability to make sudden changes in direction while traveling at blistering speeds. They aren't built like their bulkier distant cousins, the tiger or lion or jaguar. Cheetahs are sleek with long legs that propel them 13 to 23 feet with each gallop during a chase. Cheetahs typically go after medium-sized ungulates for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Typically animals that weigh between 40 and 90 pounds, but sometimes all the way up to 130-pound animals. Usually they go for impala, dorcas, springbok, gazelles, and smaller antelopes. When the cheetah takes down its prey, it doesn't always pounce on it to take it down, as they're more slender and not quite as powerful as tigers and lions, who tend to make a kill in that way. Instead, they oftentimes will sweep at the prey's legs with their paws while running next to them, causing them to trip and fall, and then jump atop them. They will then bite down. Often they clamp down on the throat of the victim until they have sufficiently strangled them. And soon, it's all over, and then the dinner bell rings. A cheetah's bite force isn't one of the strongest ever, but it's still strong, estimated to be between 500 to 550 psi. It's enough to do damage. But what kind of damage will it do in battle? The Battle of Africa. As you can see, these baboons and cheetahs occupy a lot of the same space. Some fights could have very well broken out all across the African continent. The South African cheetah and the Chacma baboon occupy many similar regions, and the Chacma baboon, being the largest of all baboons, may give him a good advantage, seeing as how he'd be matched up against one of the smaller cheetahs. In East Africa, the East African cheetah, the largest subspecies of cheetah, may run into Hamadryas baboons or yellow baboons, 2 baboon subspecies that may weigh as little as 40-something pounds. This would be an excellent advantage for the cheetah. These battles may go differently in different areas of the continent, all dependent on who is representing the species in different regions. So we thought, why not get the best of the best? Why not take the largest cheetah, the East African cheetah, and put him up against the largest baboon, the Chacma baboon? They live in entirely different areas, so we'd have to get them to meet in the middle. But what would happen? It would be an interesting battle, because both animals would want the fight to go completely opposite ways. The cheetah may do well in close combat, but that isn't what he wants. He would want to treat this baboon as prey, find him from a distance, and ambush him. Baboons are fast monkeys, but they don't compare to the cheetah. Some ungulates in Africa can hit speeds of 50 miles per hour, and even they can't get away from the cheetah. If a cheetah can hunt down an ungulate that is of equal or slightly lesser weight than he is, then he could do the same to the baboon. The Chacma baboon, weighing in between 80 and 100 pounds, is a weight that the East African cheetah can take down. And here is the thing about cheetahs: they're one of the more successful hunters when it comes to big cats. Their success rate is very high. Then again, very high for a big cat isn't anywhere near 100%. Cheetahs have a success rate of actually killing their prey once they jump into action of somewhere between 25 and 40%. That means more than half the time, they fail. They fail because the prey ran away, zigged and zagged, and evaded the cheetah for long enough. That's what a baboon would need to evade the cheetah just enough times, tire him out, and on one of those failed attempts, the baboon would then need to pounce. It's a strategy that is tough, hoping for the cheetah to get close enough, but to miss. The baboon will quickly need to adjust from defense to offense, but if he can do that, he has a great chance of winning that fight in close quarters. With his muscular body, his ability to lift heavy weights, his dexterous hands, and that massive bite, he could win that fight. The cheetah has a success rate of between 25 and 40%, with prey that is faster than the baboon. He'd probably have a higher success rate with a slower baboon. But still, could you call it more than 65%? That's probably about where it would be, meaning that baboon has a good chance, just as long as he can use his agility to evade the attacking cheetah and pounce immediately. We're favoring the cheetah if he sees the baboon from a distance, but if that baboon can turn it into a fight in a phone booth, we might adjust our bets accordingly.